Okay guys, so we're going to talk a little bit about lattice multiplication. You can use lattice multiplication when you are doing any multi-digit multiplication problem. So it can be 3 by 1, it can be 2 by 2, it can be 4 by 5. Whatever number you are using, you can use the lattice method. We today are just going to look at 3 by 1 digit and 2 by 2 digit. So our first problem is going to be 204 times 7. So if we write 204 on the top, and then we write 7 on the side, then we're going to make some boxes. This is to kind of break up the number, so then everything has its place value. You don't have to think about carrying so much. So here's our ones, our tens, our hundreds, and if we were to have to carry later on, it would just be in thousands. So you can break up your boxes into 2 sections. The reason you do that is your top is your tens place, your bottoms is your ones place. So if we go 4 times 7, it's going to go in this box. 0 times 7 is going to go in this box. And 7 times 2 is going to go in this box. So we have 4 times 7, that's 28. So our 2 is in the tens place. Our 8 is in the ones. 7 times 0, that's 0. And then 7 times 2 is 14. So then if we go, you just add whatever is in each individual section. So here it's just 8. And then in this section, 0 plus 2 is 2. This section, 0 plus 4 is 4. Then you have your last section is just the 1. So we have 1,428. And if you are comfortable and you want to double check it, sometimes Mr. Bob likes to double check it because he feels more comfortable doing it the traditional way. So 7 times 4 equals 28. Then we get to carry 7 times 0 equals 0 plus 2, 2. And then 7 times 2, 14. So we see it is correct. So we will do another 2 by 2 or 2 by 1 digit. We will look at 914. We are also multiplying that by 7. So if we write our numbers out and then we can draw our boxes. Sorry for the noises. We got Todd playing with a box, being a wild and crazy kitten down below. So we have our sections, and then we can divide it up for our ones and tens places. Okay, so then we just start with our multiplying. So just like in our last one, 7 times 4, we saw it was 28. And then 7 times 1 is 7. I like to just put a 0 up here in my tens just so I help remember that I don't have anything there. And then 7 times 9 is 63. And then we're going to go down our columns and add things up. So in our first section, we just have 8. And then we have our 7 plus 2, which is 9. Then we have our 3 plus 0, which is 3. Then we just have our lone 6 over here. So just like Mr. Bob does, we can always double check our work just to make sure that it is correct. So 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 7 is 7. Then we got to add 2, which is 9. And then 7 times 9 is 63. So check, we got the same answer. Now we are going to work on some 2 by 2 digit multiplication using the lattice method. So if we take the number 80 and we take the number 83 on the side, and then we draw our box, so we have a place for both the tens and the ones going this way and the tens and the ones going this way. And then I always start at the bottom box because there's nothing to connect it to. And then I move up. And then I do my last box. So now you can start anywhere on your board. It doesn't matter where you start. I like to go top and over and get my top and then my bottom done. So I would go 8 times 8, which equals 64. 8 times 0, I know is 0. Then I can do my 3 times 8, which is 24. And then my 3 times 0, which again is 0. So then we add up our little rows. We got nothing to add 0 to, so it's just 0. In this row we got 4 plus 0 plus 0, which is just 4. Here we have 2 plus 4, which is 6, and then we have our lone 6. And again, just like we sometimes do in class with Mr. Bob, we check our work so we can look at it a different way and just double check that we are correct. So if we start with our 3, 3 times 0 is 0. Then we got to go over 3 times 8 is 24. So now that I'm done in my ones place, I got to put a 0 because I'm moving over to my tens. 8 times 0 is 0, and then 8 times 8 is 64. And then we just got to add them up. 0, 4, 6, and 6. They look the same to me. Check and check. So we will do one more together. We'll flip it over. Try to keep using our sheet of paper here. Our next problem, let's try and do one where we'll have some carrying. So if we take 84 and we multiply it by 92. So we still are going to write out our numbers the exact same. We're still going to make our box where we have room for the tens and the ones for both numbers. So if I have 4 numbers, I should have 4 boxes. Then I got to break it up so each box has space for ones and tens. Okay, then we can start our multiplying. So 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 4 is 36. 2 times 8 is 16. And 2 times 4 is just 8. So we're going to go through and add up our individual boxes. So we have just our 8. We're not adding anything to it. Makes it easy. So now we have our 6 plus 6, which I know is 12. So just like when you carry, you write down your ones place and you carry your tens. So I put my 2 down below and I carry my 1 and I just add it in. So now instead of just doing 1 plus 2 plus 3, I'm doing 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So I know 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, and 6 plus 1 is 7. So we got that row taken care of. Now we just got to carry our 7 over. And we can double check our work. Mr. Bob would be proud of us for double checking our work. So we got our 2 times 4, which is 8. Our 2 times 8, which is 16. We are moving out of our ones place, so we got to put a 0 down below so we know we're moving. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 8 is 72. And I got to add my 3 to it, so it is 75. Then I got to add up all these fun numbers. 8, 12, 7, 7. So, got the same. So you can continue on with your work. You can feel free to do the lattice method or the traditional method, whatever made most sense to you. Just try your best and feel free to reach out if you need any help with any of this. Thanks, guys. Good luck.